Shut up and sit down.
Hi, this is Lift Run Repeat. My name is Jason Berg. Thank you for watching my video. If you have not already become a subscriber, please consider doing so. It helps me out and at least gives me the pretend sensation that I'm doing a good job. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the final part of my little series on basic movement patterns to develop a strength training program for our home. Simple bodyweight type movements that you can do with just minimal equipment. So that's what we're going to focus on today, is the 4 remaining patterns: the pull, the lunge, the hinge, and the twist. So each one's got a couple of variations to it, so hopefully it'll give you a couple of different options. The bottom line is I hope it helps you kind of get moving. So, and I'll quit babbling. Let's go ahead and watch me do some exercises here. So this is the pull pattern, and these are just some rubber bands that I have. We have like a million of them down at the studio, and a lot of people have these or can get them. They're really inexpensive. The keys here for any kind of pulling exercise are to begin with good posture. As the hands are outstretched in front of you, think about pushing your shoulders down, and then as you contract and as you pull those hands in towards your armpits, think about those shoulder blades sort of sliding back and down together. All right, so you get that nice big Superman chest sticking out. So there is, you can kind of see how it's a little different. It looks like I'm short arming it, and I'm actually not. I'm pulling them in the same amount. However, what the difference being is that I'm not retracting my shoulder blades, so I'm just kind of pulling it into here, and so then the difference is between this and that, right? So I'm not doing that part of it. So moving on, we're going to move into the lunge. So this is a standard bodyweight lunge. I'll show you a couple different versions here, and as you can see here, I've just done a nice big step out. And then I'm doing a static lunge here where I'm just dropping down. My body weight is upright, so I'm not leaning forward. And then that forward leg, as I drop down towards the ground, stays behind or directly over top my toe. And then here, we're going to do some bad ones. And that is not how we want to do that. I'm leaning forward, so my posture's no good. And I'm leaning way past my toe. Okay, so that just puts undue stress on joints that don't need it. Here I'm doing a step out, so this is a good step out. Again, about the same distance as you saw before with the static, but I'm keeping a good posture. I'm stepping out, maintaining that lower leg position, and then I'm giving a nice push off as I come back. Here, doing obviously a bad one. This is not what we want. Here, I'm afraid to step out too far, so I short step it. And then what happens there is that all of my mechanics are bad. So, plus I'm not even really getting that hard of a work towards the muscle there. So that short step there immediately throws all of my joints into a less advantageous position. And then I'm not really working that hard. So it's, not great for the joints, and you're really not even getting that good of a benefit. So here's a different bad one. So here I'm stepping out way too far, and you can see my balance is really thrown off. It's really hard to get that good pushback, and so again, my postural positioning is terrible as I go through that. And I'm pushing back, I'm lurching back with my upper body. I'm totally out of position, and I'm not really getting a benefit to the muscle groups that I'm trying to target with that lunge. So let's move on to the next exercise here. I'm going to do what's called a suitcase deadlift. And in this case, I'm holding 2 dumbbells by my side, but that's not really even necessary. Again, I try to gear these more towards bodyweight stuff. So you can just practice this hinge motion. And the key here is, as you can see in that down position there, it's like if I had stepped up to 2 suitcases, reached down, grabbed the handles, kind of right around my knees, and then lifted them up, right, as I was going to walk through the airport or whatever. The keys here are maintaining a nice neutral spine position throughout. So as you can see, here I'm not rounding out my spinal alignment from my neck all the way to the tailbone. It stays very straight. The only difference is I've moved it from here to here, so there's none of this stuff. And then the weights generally go down to just past the knees, like mid calf, and then you would stand back up, squeezing the glutes at the top and maintaining a good posture the whole time through. So here we're going to do some bad ones. Here I'm trying to stay vertical, so I'm trying to keep my chest upright, and so then in order to get down, then my knees shove way forward, kind of shoving forward like that. I'm going to put all the emphasis back on the quads like I'm trying to squat again, and that's not what we want to do. So here's another bad one. So instead now I'm barely bending my knees at all, and my back is totally rounded over, so I'm not even really getting any kind of benefit there, and I'm putting myself in a bad position to injure myself. So back to some good ones here. So maintaining those spinal alignments, pushing my butt back behind me, hinging at the waist, and then bending the knees as I pass, as the hands pass across my knees. All right, moving on. Last one here is the twist pattern, and this is a real simple one, again with those nice rubber bands. The main things here are to start with a nice, good athletic stance. So I have soft knees, soft hips, and chest is upright, good posture. You're gonna grab that rubber band with that outside hand underneath, and then reach over top with the inside hand closest to the anchor point. You're just gonna rotate the upper torso across your body. Here I'm gonna do probably a couple bad ones here. This one, I'm pushing it with my hands. You can see my hands come in close to my chest, and then they want to push away, right? So I'm coming in close, and then I'm pushing them. And then here, I'm holding it real perpendicular to my chest. However, I'm doing all the twisting from my lower legs. So basically, my torso isn't moving relative to the waist, and so those core muscles really aren't that engaged. A twist on a twist, as it were. So this one, I stole from Athlean X. Jeff Cavalier over at Athlean X had a thing with some core activities that you were not doing or something like that. Anyway, it's pretty good. But he had this one here called an oak tree step out. This one also works the core muscles in the similar manner, but the idea here is it's anti-rotation. So you're actually resisting the rotation. So you're trying to hold steady. So it's the same muscles, you're just working them in a different manner. So the idea here is to start with that same position, soft knees, soft hips, with the hands perpendicular to the chest, and then but then as I'm going to step laterally, and usually do 2 or 3 big step outs, depending on how tight your bands are and how much room you have. Some not so good ones there. I'm moving my body and then letting my hands drag back, and then I'm pulling my hands as I come out, pulling them out as I come out. So I step out and pull out. That's not what we're trying to do. If you're going to do that, you might as well just stay in one place and just do the twist like we just showed. So here's a couple little better ones. The idea again is to resist that rotation. So as I step back and come back, hold nice and steady, rock solid. So that was pretty good. As always, don't do any of these exercises if you are compromised in any way such that doing these exercises would injure you further. That's not good. You don't want to do that. So if you have any problems with any of these exercises, orthopedic injuries, things like that, don't do them. I thought this video was at least halfway good. Give it a like. If you thought it was decent, please subscribe to my channel. If you think I'm not terrible, leave me a comment. And give me some suggestions. I always like to do some suggestions. Come back next time. Again, this is Lift, Run, Repeat. My name is Jason Berg. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day.